Well, for those of you who need an introduction to how electronic music is produced, let me start by saying that you have made an incredible choice in investing in the MC-909 Groovebox. It is the fusion of all the individual elements that you would normally find in any world-class recording studio. Typically, you'll find these individual elements in a recording studio. First, you'll need something that makes sounds, and that will typically be a synthesizer in the form of, say, a keyboard. It'll normally have tones or sounds on board so you can bring up piano or, say, brass sound, drums and bass. You'll also see a sampler that might be in the form of a rack mount module that allows you to record real sounds from a microphone or load up loops from loop CDs. There'll be a really cool looking rack in the corner with tons of knobs on it, with effects such as reverb, echo, chorus, distortion, and tons of other cool effects. At the center of the room, there will be a mixing console whose job it is to mix together all the sounds from the samplers and synthesizers with a touch of effects. And finally, there'll be a sequencer either in the form of a computer or standalone device that records performances so that you can record drums, then bass, then layer part upon part to complete your song. Then there'll be a mastering effect that compresses your final mix in a special way to finally polish your performance so that it has the punch that you hear on the radio or at the club. Well, believe it or not, all of these pieces of equipment are all in here. I tell you what, if you were to buy them all individually, you'd spend 10 times the amount that you invested in the MC-909. Plus, having all of them integrated really helps your creative flow as well. Now let's take each of these elements and briefly discuss what they do. Now let's get real. It takes quite a while to become a master of any of these subjects, and I find subscribing to any of the great magazines like say Electronic Musician, Keyboard, EQ, or Home Recording magazines will really help you gain a real grip on these subjects. However, I believe that we can grasp a good deal of these subjects in a short period of time. So let's start with the two ways that the MC-909 makes sounds. It is both a synthesizer and a sampler. On the front panel underneath the mode keys, press Patch Sample and you'll come to this screen here. Now there's a selection of a ton of sounds in our synthesizer. You can just turn the value dial and select any one you want. Now all of this area along the left-hand side of the front panel allows you to make real-time changes to this sound.